Certainly a really exciting game for us. We're very pleased to come out on top. Can't say enough good things about our student section. I thought that they did just a tremendous job, and as you can see, 3 false starts by the other team, it makes a difference. It's what hopefully your home field advantage should yield for you, as you go forward during the season. I thought a really fine game by the entire team. Certainly some things we got to get cleaned up. We didn't rush the ball the way we would like to rush the football, but at the same time, the game changed significantly in the second half when we blocked the field goal for the touchdown and then kicked the field goal. Now you're up 10 in the second half, and all of a sudden it's a completely different type of game that you're in at that point. So the play calling changes, and I thought the staff as a whole did a tremendous job of working with each other to understand what kind of game we were in at that point and to make sure we limited the amount of possessions that the other team had, because ultimately by the time they got that ball for the last possession, it was hard for them. They were in kind of their last 3 mode, as offenses like to call it. A tremendous individual effort by Cuse on the day, 14 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, 1.5 sacks. Just certainly an All-American Player of the Year type performance, which is what he can do for us and has done in the past. It's certainly nothing new for him to do that, and I thought Gary did another excellent job of running the game plan. When you can finish a game and win 4-0 on turnovers, there's not many of those games you come out on the wrong side of. You usually got a good chance to come out on the right side of them. So with that, any questions?
Well, just initial thoughts. You're bowl eligible, 6-0.
It's exciting. It's exciting to be bowl eligible again, and I didn't really talk about it with the team. I'm sure they're aware of it, but as I've said before, our goals are bigger than that. But it is something that we work very hard for, and as you go through a season, there certainly are milestones or levels of success that you're able to achieve, and that's certainly the minimal standard, so to speak, of what you're trying to achieve, which would be to be bowl eligible, and then I guess you could say to have them make sure you secure a winning season, and then conference championships, BCS bowls, that type of thing as you go up the ladder, so to speak.
On the field goal block, was that something that you scouted then? Did you see a weakness there, or was it just, no, we're running our field goal block and he just made a great individual play?
It's our base field goal block, and it really was nothing different than we do. And it was an excellent individual effort, I believe, by Jamal Morrell to block the kick.
Do some guys just have a knack? He had 2 against them last year. He blocked an extra point and a field goal. Is it sometimes just a knack to as well as the schemes?
There's no doubt. There's definitely a knack to it, and there's a body type to it as well. Jamal's a long-armed, long body type. It gives you a little extra wingspan, and he covers a little bit more ground than maybe a shorter guy would.
Kyle, I know all teams practice ball security, and also taking it away. Why are you guys having so much success right now then?
It's really because the players believe it. The players buy into it. Because the drills didn't change from last year to this year. We do ball security drills. We've done ball security drills in the past, and like so, a lot of things, it's not so much that you're teaching it different, although you're always looking to find a better way to teach everything. It's this particular group of players has really made a conscious effort. They believe that if we take care of the ball, it affects the outcome of the game. And I think it has as we've gone through the season so far. So we have tangible evidence now to show them. That only makes their belief grow stronger.
How big is Gary keep protecting that ball, not turning over? How big is that in what you guys want to do as a team?
It's critical. It's critical. Again, there are certain statistics that over time have proven to win football games. Turnovers is one of them. If you win the turnover margin, you got a great opportunity to win. The more you win the turnover margin by, the more your chances of winning go up. So when you're +1, certainly better than 50%. But when you're +2, +3, +4, you've significantly raised the bar for yourself. Rushing yards, rushing attempts, drive start, all rushing defense. Those things have proven over time that they win football games.
In regards to your kicking situation, what made you decide to go with Borghese?
He had the best week. There's really nothing more complicated than that. We had a little competition. I didn't feel like Kyle was 100% and could give us what we needed. I thought Nick Borghese did an excellent job during the week, and he was the best option for us, and I thought he did a good job. It was a shame he missed that extra point. We got to see what happened on that play, because he was having a great day and certainly would have made it a 3-score game instead of a 2-score game. It would have changed a little bit of what was going on out there. So that was unfortunate. But I think going forward he'll just get better.
Coach, in the first half, in the second drive, Coleman caught 2 passes in the 43-yard section. you know, Jimmins was having a hard time running. Was the opening up to Coleman kind of shifted because of the fact that Jefferson couldn't run, or we saw difficulty in running?
I think what you see and what you're describing is how we play offense. We want to run the football. And we feel if people don't commit enough people to stopping us from running the football, we will be able to effectively run the football. Syracuse committed a lot of people to stopping the run today. That creates one-on-ones on the outside. And then people like Brandon Coleman, Mark Harrison, Timmy Wright, Carl Pratt, we have to be able to win those one-on-ones. And on that drive, he won 2 of them. And it was big because there were 2 chunks down the field.
Follow up to the kicking question. How would you assess all the other aspects of the kicking game today?
I have to look at it on film. I don't know if I got a great grasp of it right now. I think our kickoff return was okay. You know, I don't think they hurt us, but I don't think they necessarily gave us any great starting field position. I thought we did a pretty good job on kickoff coverage, although our kickoffs were just a little bit erratic at times. You know, just looking at it from that perspective, you know, that'd be a quick analysis, but I think we have to look at it further on tape to see really where the issues are.
Cal, with Kasim, was he even more active than usual today?
You know, I won't be able to tell you that until I look at it and talk to Coach Smith and Coach Cohen and see. We all know that Kasim's a tremendous playmaker, so it doesn't surprise me when he has a game like this. You know, certainly opportunities presented themselves, and he made the plays. And why that's the case, I don't know if I could give you all the details on that, but I'm certainly not surprised by it.
Kyle, any thoughts on going for a score or trying to move down the field at the end of the first half, that final drive?
I just didn't think I didn't think the timing was right. You know, I just didn't think the timing was right. You know, we have you know, certain philosophies on the end of half procedure that I don't really want to talk about specifically, you know, in public, but that just didn't fit into where we thought the timing was right to do it.
Coach, could you go back and talk about that, just to block one more time, and that is in the context of the game. They had finally put together a drive towards the end of the first half and score. Now all of a sudden the game that you seem to be in control of, it's 7-7. Then they take the opening possession of the third quarter, get down there. So at that moment, how big was that block at that point when they're like go up 3 and maybe get more confidence? Now they're down.
I think
7.
it's a tremendous momentum swing in the game where they have a very positive drive coming out to start the second half, and I thought their coaches did a nice job of what they were doing at halftime. And it goes, and I think what happened on that drive was ultimately they got off schedule because of a false start. You know, which again, it's great that that's the benefit of having home games, and those are the things your student section and your crowd can do for you. But it really goes from being a positive momentum swing in their favor to being a tremendous positive momentum swing in our favor because of the block and then ultimately the scoop and score. So there's no doubt it's a tremendous momentum swing in the game.
Coach, obviously you, having been here as an assistant, contributes to the team's transition to you being the manager. What else has led to it being such a fluid transition, do you think, through the first 6 games?
Media.
I don't know if I can answer that question. That's a tough question. I do know this. We've got very talented players, and they're really good people, and they work very hard. And I think we've got a staff of talented coaches that work very hard. Now, are we unique in that aspect? I don't think so. I think there's other teams around the country that have talented players and good coaches. But this team, maybe because of some of the things that have happened in the past, some of the times where we've been close to what we've wanted, and ultimately it's gotten away from us, is maybe just a little bit more focused than we've been. And that would be the only thing I can attribute it to. You know, it's there's no magic wand. This team works very hard. The coaches prepare very hard. They work diligently to learn the game plan. And I couldn't be more excited to see them have the success on the field, because I think it only serves to tell them that what they're doing is the right thing to do.
Did you expect it to be this quick and this good of a start?
I thought going into the season we had a good football team.
Got time for 2 more
Kyle,
questions.
Now, could you talk about the goal line stand a little bit? And it looked like they had about 8 or 9 plays down there within the 10-yard line.
It serves to I think the mental toughness of our defense. And you know, they play one play at a time. Even though the ball may get down there to the 3-yard line, they're not going to concede the touchdown. You know, the first time Syracuse got down there in the first half, they were able to run it in, and I think our guys didn't want that to happen again, and they kind of bowed their neck and did a nice job.
Kyle, what have you seen out of Tyler Croft that's kind of enabled him to take a little bit bigger role recently on offense?
He's becoming a better blocker. You know, for tight ends to have a place on the offense, they have to be contributing blockers, or else they just become slow receivers. And that's the reality of that position. So it's never been a situation where we worried about Tyler catching the ball. We know he's a talented pass catcher, a talented route runner. Now he's become an effective blocker. And then once he became an effective blocker, he becomes a weapon for us on offense.
Kyle, you mentioned the running game before. Was it more what they were doing and the number of guys they committed to it, or was it something that was missing for you guys today?
They certainly committed numbers to it, you know, and they have good personnel. They've got good defensive linemen. They've got a linebacker, number 11, who's an excellent football player. So they've got good people on defense. We'll look for the specifics when we watch the film, but I think it's a combination of the two. They have talented people on defense, and they certainly committed numbers.